Hey, what's up guys? My name is Simons. I'm the marketing coordinator for Hydro Funding and a funded trader myself. And together we're gonna take a look at the markets for the upcoming week. What I always do before I dive into the charts is I look at the economic calendar. Like if you can see here, there we have no news coming up on Monday, no news coming up on Tuesday, but we have news, a lot of high impact news events on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. So what I expect to happen is that Monday and Tuesday will be less volatile. We'll be trading with less volume, but the real volume will be coming in the rest of the week, especially with CPI coming up on Thursday. So this is something I would be looking for. The economic calendar always gives you a clear roadmap for when to trade, but especially also when not to trade. And I know for myself and for my own analysis and data in the past that no news Mondays for me are a no-go. Less volatility means no clear setup, so I won't be trading those days. CPI, there's a lot of volume injected into the market, so a lot of volatility expected. So my advice for this week is wait, stay patient, and don't trade just before news events, because this can be really, the price can really rip through your stop loss and this can be seen as gambling. So please guys, don't do that. Okay, let's get over to the charts. I always analyze DXY first before I start moving to other charts, because DXY is usually inversely correlated to all the other markets. So if I expect, if I'm bearish on DXY, I'm mainly bullish on all the other markets and vice versa. So if you see DXY here, I have this sell side liquidity over here marked out and this sell side liquidity over here. These are my main targets because I think we are in a market maker sell model at the moment. We accumulated here orders over here, then we manipulated higher into this new day open gap over here, then we sharply displaced lower, created the balanced price range, traded into it, created two SMTs here, smart money techniques, that's an inverse correlated crack between the highs and lows of the DXY and EURUSD and GBP-USD. And after this crack, these two cracks, I believe we will move lower. We also traded below this bullish fair value gap over here. So now my main targets are lower for DXY and also higher for the euro. Last week I pointed for the euro, I pointed out this high as a target. We reached that, but I'll still be looking to higher targets. And here you can see the double crack. You see that here in this chart you can see that the DXY and euro are usually inversely correlated. So when the dollar moves higher, the euro usually moves lower, and when the euro moves higher, the dollar moves lower. And you see here in this chart for DXY, let me zoom in a little bit, that for this high on 21st of August and this high on the 27th of August, we made a lower high on DXY. So essentially in the perfect world, what the euro would do is making a higher low over here, but it didn't, it made a lower low. And over here you see that the euro made a higher low, the DXY made a lower high, which is all correctly correlated, but cable, the GBP, made a lower low in this case. So that's where another crack happened. So for me that's another sign where we reverse. When those kind of cracks between highs and lows happened, is for me a sign that we will reverse in the market direction. So you see here, we've definitely been moving lower after these two cracks happened for DXY. And that's why I would be aiming for sell side in here, most definitely. And for euro I'm targeting this buy side over here, the buy side of the high of the 24th of July, which sits around 1.18. So that's it for Forex. Let's move over to gold. For gold we had this perfect setup over here. I noticed this one 2 weeks ago, I put it out in the email, where we had this cracking correlation inside an inverse fair value gap, which is a really powerful setup I usually trade. Only gold is not a market I trade myself, But if I traded gold, I would definitely have taken this one. We made a lower low here on gold in this inverse fair value gap. And if you check, because gold is of course closely correlated to silver, so if you check silver, it also had the same inverse fair value gap but made a higher low inside that gap. And you see after this crack happened, we had a displacement higher on both charts, and after that we continued rallying and rallying and rallying. For now for gold, we just reached the new all-time high this week, or last week, and this week again we still are trading higher, just created a new all-time high as we speak. But I expect a correction to happen on gold anytime soon, because as you can see here we have a lot of high lows, high lows, high lows, high lows, and higher highs for gold. We're trading in actually no man's land, and we have a lot of internal range liquidity in here, a lot of building sell side, so I expect this sell side to get taken anytime soon. Especially over here we have a lot of higher lows. This is not something I would be looking for this week, but something I'll keep in mind when I see a setup forming, a bearish setup on the high time frame forming for gold. Then I would be looking for shorts and I will target this area. Then for Bitcoin at the 14th of August we made our new all-time high at 123k. But if you say for this week, where are we going? I have no clue. I think that this area is really tempting for price to go to, because we have relative equal highs. There's a lot of buy stops above it, a lot of buy side liquidity just below this daily fair value gap. So yeah, gun to my head, I would expect Bitcoin to trade higher for the short term, also because we traded above this daily bearish fair value gap as well. So I think we can now treat it as an inverse fair value gap, treat it as support and trade higher from it. And for the sell side, I would say like this is a nice objective to look at if you're bearish. This low over here, of course there's a lot of sell side liquidity below it, but especially over here we have this low sell side below it and this bullish fair value gap below this sell side liquidity pool. So a lot of sell side lies here in the market, but gun to my head, where will we go to next? I would say higher to this high, because there's relative equal highs just below a daily fair value gap. For me, that's just a sign that this is an area where price will move towards. When you like this type of content, please like or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Drop a comment below. I'm curious, where do you think price will go for the different markets? And I hope to see you in next week's video. Take care.